Alrighty, Super Benny here. It's the end of PlayStation as we know it. A surprise for some, but not for myself personally. PlayStation decided they stopped making physical games. As you can see, I'm a big physical collector and I love collecting physical games. So basically, PS5 downwards will all be sort of retro now. For me, it's a massive relief. A lot of people, there's a big backlash and, people are angry, I totally get it. For me, it's a massive relief. Just to have your console and, not to have all these games, and it's a massive relief for me. It's a massive relief. So I don't have to keep buying games every month and all that kind of stuff. I already said in the previous sort of video in video games pickups recently, last week, saying I'm not going into PlayStation 6. I'm not going to buy PlayStation 6. I had the PS4 and that was great for nostalgia. A lot of collections editions. There's a lot of re-releases from Shenmue, Dreamcast games. It's a brilliant library. A lot of these independent companies that brought out games for nostalgia and collector's editions and bundles that were all on there. So it's, the writing's been on the wall for a long time, and I think people have been burying their heads in the sand. I've been fully aware of this, and if you're watching some of these YouTubers who, who are angry and what have you, you're probably going to watch Super Benny here. They've been telling you for a long time that this has been on the cards. I said, pick up the PS4. That's looking like a brilliant decision now. All the prices are going to go up mental. I've got all the retro I want. Great library of PS4. Finish off the PS5, and that's me done. So it doesn't really bother me. Maybe go for Nintendo Switch as well. That's looking very cool. Not the Switch 2, but go get some of those Switch games. Brilliant games. If you're looking for a decent console, Neo Geo's coming out, and that's going to be a brilliant console, a blast from the past. I mean, this isn't my first sort of love with PlayStation, so I grew up with the Mega Drive, I grew up with the Nintendo. If it's going all digital, why not go get onto Steam or get a full-on gaming PC? These graphics are struggling with sort of consoles anyway. And to be paying £1,000, at what point does gaming become selfish in a way? That could be a family holiday. £100 a week for a new, £100 a month, for a new game. When bills, and we're all adults and that kind of stuff. Money's tight. How much money do you have at the left at the end of the month? So I can't keep buying £100 sort of titles. It's just not feasible. So I always get great deals. The loss of the second-hand market is a massive blow. The dynamic pricing from PlayStation as well, keeping games at high prices. You can find a lot of these games on Amazon or retail shops for half the price of what they are on the PlayStation Store. And it kind of, with sort of having physical games decide by the people if it's a crap game and it goes down in price rapid, and a lot of companies don't make their money. Why would you pay £50 for like Mind's Eye or what have you? A rubbish game. So that is also cool. If you want to play it with your friends, you can give your game or move it on. They want all that kind of stuff, and ownership is a big kind of thing. You've just seen how they disrespect the fans as well. PlayStation 3 store that's going as well. So there's no preservation of these sort of titles and that kind of thing going forward, which is sad to see. I get it. I get sort of digital games and having that. Nothing is forever. Being in the moment. I totally get it. It's just gaming is becoming a bit of a privilege and that kind of stuff, and I've seen it in other sort of countries and places I've been. It gets to the point where privilege, only sort of the rich people can play the games and do the things, and it becomes out of reach for a lot of people. Now, what I like about sort of gaming is fun fun. I can play very, very basic games from Super Mario Kart to Space Harrier to Sonic, very, very early sort of games, and have infinite amounts of pleasure. Where it's sort of coming with gaming lately, I've not been impressed to be paying £1,000 for a new console. I recently played FIFA 26. I shut it off. It wasn't even about sort of the gameplay or the fun. It was all about opening packs and joining tournaments and playing and keeping you in these constant game loops, which I'm just sort of fed up with. I'm fed up with fighting games not releasing a full roster. The best sort of games were fighting games with 2D, and they had a full roster and an arcade mode, and you can find your tournaments and that kind of stuff, and not be waiting around in lobbies and reading all the instructions before you even get to a game. By the time I load up a game these days, I'm half asleep on the sofa anyway, because I'm getting that age. But I suppose if you're appealing to the younger audience, good for you, but you've lost a lot of fans. As I say, I'd be quite open to playing the Xbox through the TV. The only sort of new sort of games I would be interested in is sort of the Capcom games anyway. Maybe I could play those on the Switch too and have that portable. But as I say, I've probably got 10, 15, 20 years of maybe gaming if I can, We'll see where it goes. So it doesn't really bother me to keep diving into these purchases, and I really love the retro, I really love the nostalgia, and I really like having fun with my games, and I don't think a lot of games are fun as they are. Anyway, that part of the rant. They're just not getting fun, are they? And I'm not super hyped for PlayStation 6. I've said this on the channel for the past sort of 2 years. We've been focusing on building up a brilliant library, and we've done that. So it doesn't really bother me. It's a massive relief. The biggest problem is for the death of physical, is the main sort of point from the video to tell you guys. PlayStation Plus, having played the PlayStation Plus for the past year and a half, nearly sort of 2 years, I've got with the PlayStation 5, I was waiting initially for the PS5 Pro and seeing there was not much difference in the graphics, NPCs, characters, there's nothing really sort of groundbreaking or I've been blown away by in the last sort of decade. The graphics look good, but the gameplay's garbage. The main sort of issue is with going forward for PlayStation. It's not like Xbox. The Xbox Game Pass, you get day ones. There was hardly any sort of day ones releases. You can't play any of the modern games. They ship out all the trash onto the PlayStation Plus and all that kind of stuff. So the premium one, yeah, you get a few sort of game trials and what have you, but the prices suck, the layout sucks, and if you're going forward with digital sort of games, you can't have that storefront on there. That is garbage, absolute garbage, and there's no quality control on there. There's a lot of slop games on there. We've got a big library. Go and have a look at some of the slop on there. There's loads of microtransactions on there. There's games like, I'm a burger and flip over. Let's run and jump. Like mobile trash games, absolute crap games. Really, really bad games. So there's no quality control in there. Then it's getting very hard to find the decent games. There's no like, hey, this game's buzzing, you'll have a great time with that. It's not. It's all sort of shill. A lot of shill, corporate shill. Crap, absolute crap, and you're paying a premium for it. So, yeah, I don't want to be sat down going forward with the PlayStation 6, looking through a library. I do it with Netflix. I turn it off after a bit because it does me head in. In the end, I put a film on from the 80s and 90s where I know I'm going to enjoy, rather than, watch the trailer, I watch that, can I play that? All right. You can come to my channel, I'll tell you some decent games to play straight off the bat. Plug them in, play them, you have a great time. Boff, you're off to the flying races. That's why I love some of the simpler games with the cartridges. Put them in, play it for 10-15 minutes, go. that's what you get joy from, like mobile games or what have you. I play a simple game on there. It's just a penguin and you're just going on a little surfboard on the phone. I have great fun. Turn it off after 5 minutes while I'm sat on the toilet. You know what I mean? Gaming doesn't have to be this hoo-ha. You know, I'm going to be sat through a library with PlayStation Plus going, oh, can I check what sort of game to play? Going through all those games, then download the game. GTA is going to be about 500, 600 quid. It's going to take a week to download. You know what I mean? Imagine you've got really bad internet. You've got dial-up internet. Take you about years. Anyway, you know, if you're going to go cloud storage, I get it. It's the future. It's digital. That's how it should be. You know, customize your libraries and that kind of stuff. Maybe add some of the old games you don't have to repurchase. They don't care about that. As I say, the big sort of problem is with this, the PlayStation Store, the PlayStation Premium, the PlayStation Plus, garbage. I'm looking for good games to play, and what they're pushing and the new games, whatever, absolutely boring. I finished Ghost of Yotei and I was fed up after a bit. People don't know what fun is if it slapped them in the face these days. You sat around with these corporations going, oh, I think these will be a good idea, this idea and that idea. They wouldn't know fun if it hit them in the face. And I think it's about time sort of a new console came together, or maybe a handheld. I don't know what Sega's doing. They'll be dead in no time. They're idiots, absolute idiots. They've really dropped off. But, you know, what's it a case of? We're going to go to internet cafes and be playing like that. I've seen how sort of other countries and other places are doing it. It doesn't really inspire me. And it's a massive relief. I don't have to keep collecting, don't have to keep FOMOing into the stuff. I've got all the brilliant stuff in here. I can be playing games to my heart's content. I could be still playing the game I've been playing since the 90s. Turn that on for 5 minutes and have infinite amount of time and fun on there without having updates and all this rubbish. I get it, you know. But it's just becoming so expensive and the prices keep creeping up. It's just getting absolutely outrageous. So, yeah, it is a massive relief. Disappointing, yeah, but if you're so angry about it, where have you been? You've been burying your head in the sand. I mean, they already tried to do it anyway with the PS5 and they brought out the disc drive and you could have a digital one or a separate one. So if this is news to you, where have you been? I've been prepping, as you can see, and getting really ready for it. So, yeah, an end of an era, really. It's sad, but I think in the future you'll be able to sort of jailbreak it, or anyway, so if I wait around long enough, probably someone in the future, some Chinese person, is probably going to hack it or whatever, find a way around it. I mean, in Pakistan, they download a load of ROMs and play old Xboxes and all that kind of stuff to play Red Dead and all sorts. So there's ways around these things, and you know, eventually I'll be able to play those games somehow, some way, whether it be through the TV or however. I mean, you could probably, the way sort of TVs are going, if Sony did a TV when it combined it in there, that would be more smarter, wouldn't it? I mean, can you afford in the next sort of 4 years to buy an 8K TV, a 1200 console, and then have like so a library of 10, 20 games all costing you 100? Good luck to you. I've been prepping. I'm pretty happy with playing over these for the next sort of 10, 15 years. And yeah, so it doesn't bother me at all. If you're new to the channel, please give me a like and a subscribe. I'll suggest interesting games to you. I'm actually playing games all the time rather than ordering them. And we talk about all the latest sort of video game stuff. So, see you soon. Take care.